Welcome to Video on Demand, Episode 6 of the Leesburg 30th Annual Martin Luther King Day Commemorative Series. This episode spotlights some of the trailblazers in Loudoun County who were first in their public office or fields, including Chair-at-Large Phyllis Randall, Chief Brown, Deputy Chief Grisby, the Honorable Sinclair Taylor, and Principal Pamela Croft. Thank you for supporting this program, and the entire series is available on YouTube and Facebook.
Hi everybody, how are you? It's Phyllis Randall, Chair-at-Large of Loudoun County. To the Martin Luther King Jr. March and to Tammy Carter. Thank you all for all that you have done for 30 years. And Tammy, you have been such an incredible leader of this effort for the past many years. I've been so proud to attend the marches and even one day be a speaker. And so I really appreciate all of you on this 30-year anniversary. And the theme this year, equality above all, is so important. Equality above all means equality in every area, in housing, in education, in banking, in government, in every area. Equality above all is the theme. It means things like not just being not racist, but being anti-racist. Not just looking for equality in one area, but making sure you look at everything from an equity lens. And that is just so important. So once again, thank you so much. What we know for sure is next year, we're going to be back together celebrating the MLK holiday. Until then, all of you stay safe and keep your family safe. We love you all. See you next year. Bye-bye.
My name is Chief Greg Brown of the Leesburg Police Department.
And I'm Deputy Chief Vanessa Grigsby of the Leesburg Police Department.
And on behalf of the women and men of the Leesburg Police Department, we would like to extend congratulations on reaching the milestone of 30 years of the MLK I Have a Dream annual march. Recognizing that this year's program will be virtual, we are hopeful that next year this time we can gather once again. Happy 30th anniversary.
And thank you for your community service.
Congratulations to the MLK I Have a Dream Committee on this, the 30th commemoration of the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As I reflect on this year's theme of equality above all, I'm reminded of the legacy of Charles Hamilton Houston, who stood on these hallowed grounds and defended George Crawford. He assembled an African-American defense team, and he successfully argued for equality and justice in jury selection and in representation. And although Mr. Crawford was convicted, he spared his life, and he set the framework for many advances in the law that we know today, and became the first African-American to argue a major case in a Southern courtroom. Just as the words equal justice for all are emblazoned on the courthouse steps of the United States Supreme Court, these courthouse grounds remind us that every day we strive for equal justice for all. May we always remember the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Again, congratulations.
Greetings. I am Pamela Croft, principal of Tuscarora High School in Leesburg, Virginia. I would like to congratulate the MLK Committee on 30 years of meaningful community connections and purpose in keeping Dr. King's dream alive in Loudoun County. I stand on the shoulders of this committee and all others that came before me. When I was appointed principal in 2009, I became the first African-American high school principal since integration in Loudoun County. Serving in this role the past 11 years continues to remind me of the importance of carrying forth excellence for all in Loudoun, but especially minorities. Your theme of equality above all, overcoming injustices and inequities is most appropriate in these times. As an educator, our minority students often enter school on an inequitable playing field. As a minority principal, I came to the job with the personal experience of some of those systemic inequities. When you begin to dismantle inequities in education, it makes people feel uncomfortable. but it is absolutely necessary if all students are to receive an equitable education. We have to remove gatekeepers to higher level courses. It is necessary to bring programs to school to bridge gaps in learning. It is necessary to make sure that all students have equitable opportunities for success and recognition. It is necessary to hire folks that look like the students they serve. It is necessary to support minority athletes academically so that when they leave high school, they have equitable post-secondary opportunities equal to their peers. When we think about equity, we must remember that equity is not equal. We must remember that, unfortunately, students do not all enter school on an equal playing field. As a school and community, we must remember to intentionally work together to provide resources and opportunities that bridge gaps as early as possible. True equity is giving students what they need to be able to access curriculum and programs equally with their peers. Again,
my name is Fernando Martinez. I've been on the Leesburg Town Council for 18 years and currently serving as its vice mayor. I want to thank the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream Celebration and March Committee for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you today. I am a Latino, more specifically a Mexican from Southern California, and I have suffered injustice and inequalities like most of you my whole life. I became specifically aware of it when I was in elementary school. We were told that we could not speak Spanish, and if we did, we were physically disciplined, which at that time school systems allowed. Also, my mother was told that we should forget Spanish, speak English only since we lived in America. Well, after school, I joined the Air Force. And though not as prevalent, we still had injustice and inequality. It didn't matter that you were a Vietnam Era vet. It mattered to most people the color of your skin and not who you were or are. It doesn't help when you've been elected to office. You still get pulled over, and being a minority, you're still concerned about how you're going to be treated, which most times is not well. That is until they run your name for warrants and realize that you are a town council member. And then all of a sudden you're treated differently. And then you realize that it's not you they respect, it's the office you're in. So, which is hard to swallow. It doesn't help when you work in political organizations and help run them, where you still have people who are insensitive, and your political peers sometimes don't realize how they can contribute to this toxic culture. I say this because injustice and equality knows no boundaries. Doesn't care if you're a college graduate, a veteran, an elected official, man, woman, child, or old person like me. It was there when I was in this school system 60 years ago. It was there in the military, and it is still in our community today. But I do say this, that wall of injustice and equality that was built by the intolerant, the unfair, the cruel, is getting smaller and being torn down brick by brick by people like John Lewis, Medgar Evans, Barbara Jordan, Cesar Chavez, Sonia Sotomayor, and Martin Luther King, and also by you, my brothers and sisters. Celebrations like this help us remember our legacies and keep us moving forward. In summary, we have to understand that we cannot expect others to lift us to prosperity, to equality, and bring justice to our lives. We must work on it ourselves to understand what drives us and look at those who came before us to help us see what we need to do today. If we truly want to bring change, we need to be the change. We need to do it non-violently. We need to get out in front We need to protest. We need to get in front of our elected officials and demand change. We need to get in front of school boards and demand that our children be seen and not ignored. We need to take the risk and become an elected official and work to enact change. And if not, support your elected officials and get people elected that will bring and embrace change. We can't afford to be quiet and let things go.